Hey guys, it's Leanna. Welcome to SV Mama Life, Silicon Valley Mama Life. This video is real talk about childbirth. Do you know a friend or have someone in your family is going to give birth soon? Forward this video to her and help her on the big day. So I'm going to share my birth story with you about my first child. And that morning at 7 a.m., I was feeling some belly aches and I didn't know what was going on. I thought it might be a stomach ache or something. And I followed what I learned in my labor class, which was to just bend over those big yoga balls and kind of like go in some circles and hopefully that would relieve the pain. But no, it got worse slowly and slowly. It was feeling more and more pain. I was like, I think I'm having contractions, but I'm not sure. So let's call the doula. Call our doula. She said, is it getting worse? Are you counting it this many in the minute? I'm like, yeah, it's pretty close. It's like 5 minutes apart right now. And she's like, maybe you don't need to go to the hospital yet unless it gets worse. And I'm like, okay, let's see. So after 8 o'clock, it was already feeling a lot worse. And by 8:30, I was like, let's go to the hospital. This is so much pain. It's hard to walk and it's hard to breathe, really. And it was my first time, so I had no idea what it was going to feel like. So we went to hospital and almost 9 o'clock and the doctors were checking me and, they have to touch you inside and check your dilation, how far apart you're open. And at a certain point at 10 centimeters, your baby is ready to be delivered. So usually if you're around 2 centimeters dilated, they will ask you to go home and come back later. But if your contractions are like 2 or 3 minutes apart and it's feeling really painful here and you think you might be ready to pop the baby, just go to the hospital and get checked out. So luckily we did, and I was 8 centimeters dilated, ready to go, and I didn't want to give birth yet. I was in so much pain. I was like, can I have the epidural, please? And the doctor let me have it, but it took a long time to administer because they have to get the anesthesiologist to come, and then they shoot it in a spot in your spine, and it has to be the right spot, Then it takes a while to settle in, and they're calm and relaxing. Well, little did I know, after a few hours in the afternoon, they told me it was time to push because I was open and ready, but I couldn't feel anything when I was pushing because I had the epidural. So they actually lowered the amount and I could really feel the pain more and more. And that was how I could know how to push and when to push. And finally, my baby was born. So I think my labor could have been like 2 or 3 hours, and instead I made it into 8-hour thing. So I knew if I had another baby, I wasn't going to get epidural again. I'm just going to try and push. If I can't, go natural. That's what I had wanted originally, and it hurt too much, so much. And I thought I couldn't take the pain, and in the end, I still felt a ton of pain when they lowered the epidural. So you can think about that when it's time to go. So my second birth story was totally different. I thought first, hey, I've been through this. I know what's gonna happen. It's just, the baby's just gonna slide right out. Everyone says it'll slide out. It'll be so easy, right? No, it was different. This time, I was sleeping and at midnight, I woke up and my water broke. I was walking to the bathroom, like I felt like I had to pee. All of a sudden, sploosh, all this water came out on the ground. It's like, my water just broke. And our first child was sleeping at night. My husband was like, what are we gonna do? I'm like, well, I gotta go to the hospital. What are we gonna do? I have to drive myself. So I drove myself to the hospital. Can you believe it? And he called people to see who could come and be at home with our sleeping child so that he could come be with me at the hospital because we don't know what's gonna happen. And my second child was born prematurely, but we didn't know what was going to happen either. So, and then after we got to the hospital, I settled in and I wasn't contracting. So I ended up staying there for 2 days and I had to stay there bed rest until baby was born. Well, I was only 26 weeks pregnant. That's 2 trimesters. And it's supposed to be 3 trimesters, about 36 to 40 weeks, okay? So my second child was born really early. And at the time, I was feeling a little contraction, and I knew what it was going to feel like this time. Like, okay, it's happening soon. And the nurse was like, I don't really read the contractions on the chart. I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm feeling it. Okay, and so it was faster and faster, and I called my husband. It was like midnight again, and he had to find someone to come to our house. And he raced here, ran some red lights. I'm like, oh my gosh, you almost didn't make it. And he's like, do you want some music on? I'm like, no, there's no time for music. The baby's gonna come out now. So I was pushing, I was only a little bit pushing, and my baby was born. And you know, every person's experience is different. You might be in labor for a day or 2 days, and some people are in labor for a few hours. Like me, it was really short. So you just don't know. And sometimes you have other issues with your pregnancy that you need to get some help with. Some moms also get C-section, where they cut through here to your belly to have your baby come out. And that's a whole different situation. And your recovery is going to be a lot different too. So do what you think is best for your baby and your body. Best wishes to all of you moms. Please forward and share this video and help another mom with her childbirth. And remember, like and subscribe. Thank you.